Hello, and greetings from the United States of America, and welcome to Horse Talk. My name is Mary Kogut Lowell, and I'm going to be one of your virtual teachers this summer. I live currently in the state of Florida, in the southern part of the United States, and Florida is known for its warm weather and beautiful beaches. Originally, I'm from the state of Michigan in the north, which is another beautiful state. I work as a lawyer full time, and I also sometimes teach. And for my whole life, I've really enjoyed horses. So that's what we're going to talk about today. First, we'll start with some vocabulary about the parts of a horse. And we'll also talk about tack, which is the equipment that you need to ride a horse. And then after we get done today in the classroom, in part 2 of the lesson, we're going to go to an equestrian center. An equestrian center is a facility dedicated to the education and enjoyment of horses through activities such as riding lessons and clinics. And when we're at the equestrian center, you're going to meet a couple of different kinds of horse breeds. Horse breeds are the different kinds of horses that you will find. Okay, so welcome. I'm very happy you're here. I hope someday I'll meet you in person. So let's get started with our vocabulary. The parts of a horse. Here's a photo of me with one of my horses that I used to have. Her name was Diamond Girl. She was a very, very sweet horse that I enjoyed very much. So I wanted to use this picture to illustrate the parts of a horse. People have a head, so too a horse has a head. We use the same word. So the horse has a head. The horse also has a neck, just like people. Humans have a neck, a horse will have a neck. Humans have a back, a horse has a back. A back is where you put the saddle on a horse. So this is the head, neck, and back of a horse. Now, the hair on the back of a horse has a special name. That's called a mane. And the hair on the front of a horse that comes down like this is called a forelock. So mane and forelock. A horse also has a tail, and a horse has 4 hooves. Humans have feet, horses have hooves. So 1 hoof. These are hooves. And there's one other part I'm going to tell you about on a horse. And that is the point right here. And that's called the withers. And the reason why that is important is because you will often hear in English when people talk about the height of a horse, people will measure the height in hands. That's right, just like this word, hands. And hands is a unit of measure equal to 10.2 centimeters used for the height of horses from the ground to the withers. Ground to withers. So when measuring the horse's height in hands, we measure from the ground to the withers. Now, some other vocabulary. To groom a horse is to clean and maintain the appearance of a horse by washing, brushing, combing, etc. Now, we're going to go visit a equestrian center, which is, as I said, a place or a facility that is dedicated to the education and enjoyment of horses. And at the equestrian center, we are going to speak with a horseback riding instructor or also called a horseback riding trainer. So horseback riding is the sport of riding horses, and a horseback riding instructor or trainer is a person who teaches horseback riding. Oh, I forgot to mention with Diamond Girl, the equipment that we need to ride a horse. You need a saddle. That's the part that you sit in. So that's your chair on the horse. It's called a saddle. You put your feet, rider puts his or her feet in the stirrups. So saddle and stirrups. On the horse's head, you will see a bridle. This is called a bridle. It goes on the horse's head. And they're attached to the bridle here. You will see something called a bit. The bit goes in the horse's mouth. And attached to the bit are reins. So when you're actually riding a horse, you hold the reins. Now, I really like horses. As I said, I've been riding almost my whole life. And horses, I enjoy them for a number of reasons. For one thing, they're just beautiful animals, and they're very interesting, intelligent animals, and they can be really great friends too. I've had some really, really wonderful horse friends. So I have found that it's a lot of fun to ride horses, and I hope that you get a chance to ride horses someday too. Now, when we go to the Equestrian Center, we're going to speak with a trainer. Her name is Margot, and Margot is originally from France, and she speaks English very beautifully, but she is French, and she is a riding instructor here in Central Florida. And at the Equestrian Center, she will introduce us to some of the beautiful horses there. And so let's talk about some horse breeds or different kinds of horses that we have in the United States. One very popular kind of horse or breed of horse is called a quarter horse, and you will meet two quarter horses in part 2 of the lesson. And the quarter horse is a breed known for agility and speed over short distances. They're very popular in the United States. You will also meet today a draft horse, which is a big, big, big horse. They were originally used to pull heavy loads. And after meeting a draft horse, you will meet a mini horse. And a mini or miniature horse, some people call them a Shetland pony. That is a small form of a horse. So when we get to the Equestrian Center today, you will meet Lacey, who's a quarter horse. She's actually a white quarter horse with blue eyes, which is very unusual. You will meet Tucker, a paint quarter horse. We call paint horses are the black and white horses. Many people call them paints. Then you will meet Dream, who is a cream-colored draft horse. And then finally, you will meet Tinkerbell, a mini. So it's really great to see you today, and I hope you enjoy our visit to the Equestrian Center. See you soon.